Hola, Puzzle Combaters. Hope all is well out there in Puzzle Combat Land. Alright, so I wanted to do a rundown of the hero cards for our seasonal that's out right now. So, it's gonna take a few minutes to do that now. So, I still have 5 tickets, but I think I'm gonna save these now for Halloween. So, I do have a couple of these guys. So Hannah Lee's up here. And I'll do a hero breakdown on her. And I also got Woo Woo. I'm just gonna call him Woo Woo. I don't even care if that's how it's pronounced. He's Woo Woo to me. I don't mind him either. And then I think I picked up, was it Mankini? Mancani? I don't know how you say that. Oh, it might be in my alt account that I picked him up. Oh no, there's Koa. So he won't be ready for a long time, so I'll do separate videos on those. So I just wanted to start out saying these guys definitely have their uses, but their specials are, it seems, rather underwhelming. Now I don't know too much about Wade and Guppy because they're brand new this year, so let's go through these. The stats look okay on him. I think there's other purples with better health though. That seems like a fairly high attack stat, so 51 charge speed. He's just past that 49 to 50 break point. And he'd need to get to 58 for him to be fast, so 7 speed point weapon, which is easily done if you have, because isn't the checkoff 9? So yeah. Oh, he's purple though, not the checkoff. Oh, I don't have one in here, do I? It's my alt account where I got the speed weapon. I'm in my main account right now. The ink explosion. How many is on that? I don't remember this one offhand. Oh, it's 9 as well. So yeah, you're good to go there to make him a bit functionally faster there. That's a good thing. So 270 damage to the target and nearby enemies. So he's an AoE hitter that covers 3. 60% additional damage when hitting a target with status ailments. Well, geez, that's actually a nice little perk because there's a lot of status ailments out there. That has the potential to finish off a hero between the extra damage and the status ailments. So the rubber duck minion, yeah. Those are always fun. 8% health, 8% attack. That's pretty standard for all of them, I think. And the minion's target gets 60 attack for 3 turns when it hits them. That's not bad either, because I've found that Hannah Lee kind of works for fighting the war machine, and I think that's one reason why, is my heroes can stay alive longer because the war machine's not attacking at its full capacity. So it's kind of a nice little perk, and he looks better than some of the others. Like, I gotta be honest, they have their uses, but their specials are generally underwhelming for some of the other heroes that are out there. Like, yeah, I think he looks decent as a purple, but there's other purples just as strong, if not stronger, right? So just keep that in mind. It's going to depend on how many pulls you do, and if you're dropping dollars into the game, then you're likely going to pull a better purple or a different purple at some point, right? So he looks pretty decent considering what the others are like, so, which we'll get into a little bit more as we go here. Alright, let's look at the family special. The water fight family. Oh my gosh. So corny. Water fight heroes have a 10% chance to trigger the Soothing Waves bonus bonus effect. So that's 13% health to all allies. This actually is a pretty decent bonus, considering how much healing can help. In a field aid war, if you had a bunch of these summertime seasonal heroes, I mean, that could be quite annoying, depending. So, I don't know. It's decent. There are better ones, but so 3, 6, 9, and 12% defense, depending on how many of those heroes you take in. Unique heroes, too, by the way. You can't, for instance, take in 2 Wades in the same battle. It won't give you this last bonus here, because they're not unique heroes. It's got to be like a Wade and a Guppy, etc. So, alright. Mankini! Whirlwind Warrior. So he's already fast, this little guy here. 270 damage to the target, and minor damage to nearby enemies. So same as Wade, where he's an AoE hitter covering 3. Increases the duration of status ailments on the target and nearby enemies by 2 turns. That's not bad. And you know, the 4-star blue category, if you've watched some of my other videos, I have said it before, the 4-star blue category is lacking, to say the least. It really, really is. So to have him over Hollow Pointless or a Jacob, or I know Kayla hits like a bloody truck when she does go off, but she's so slow. So you know, to have this hitter like this is pretty good. I would say is probably better than Jackrabbit. Myself, maybe not. In other people's opinions, but because I like Jackrabbit too. I like Welshie from the Merc event as well. But 4-star blue is not a strong category, so it's kind of decent that we have this guy as an option if you do land him. If I did ever get him, I would definitely level him up. That's just a weak category. I don't know why. Finlay. Okay, so blue 5-star blues are really strong, so I don't know that how much we'd see this guy, because you got your Tremors, you got your Pansiers. Visor, I really like him as a hero of the month. I like Chell's special as a former hero of the month as well. So I don't know how much you'll see this guy. And average speed, so he's 50 at that break point. Do any of the blue weapons put him up to 58? Probably not, right? I don't know that I got the speed weapon leveled all the way. Oh, there you go. So a Regalizer would help make him functionally faster on offense, so that's good to know. You don't see Finley a heck of a lot, though. I don't see him on defense too much. 95% damage to the target. He might make a decent wing, but considering Tremor and Pansier were kind of made to be tanks, you're not going to see this guy on defense too much. As an offensive hitter, though, I don't think he's too shabby. But again, blue's a fairly strong category, considering. And then you got Logan, that's a status ailment clearer. He's a cleanser, and you got him with attack up. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but the attack up combined with the right heroes is deadly, right? So I think a lot of people probably still use Logan for those attributes that he has. So 60% additional damage when hitting a target with status ailments. The Rubber Duck minion, so standard 8 and 8, and minus 60 attack for 3 turns when it hits them. Again, another kind of perk for a War Machine, right? Alright, let's go back here, cover the ones. Alright, so Guppy starts it off. And that's so funny that they released another 5-star blue with this. So Guppy's new, and 38 charge speed though, so super slow. Is it 43 is the next breakpoint? I can't remember. I should have got the speed chart out before I started here, but I didn't. Kind of thinking it's 43, which means 5 speed points. So speed weapon would help make them functionally faster, which is cool. 1443 health, that's not bad at all. Attack's a little bit lower, but look at the defenses at 710 is decent for sure. So that's a bonus. Now, this is kind of like Tremor, where they're hitting all targets, and 210 damage is a fair amount of damage. That's... yeah. It's funny, because the ones they released last year are kind of underwhelming with their specials, and then they released Guppy and the other dude, Wade, and it's looking like they're actually decently built. I'm not going to say overpowered on this one, but that is a fair amount of damage dealt out to all enemies. Increases the duration of buffs on all allies by 2 turns. Nice little perk again. And then the 64 attack. So in a blue stack, that's awesome to get that extra 64 attack as well. Now, I'd imagine that's not stackable with Logan, because that is a static ailment, or a static buff, which will stay. It's not like Blunderbutt, where it's a gambling one. It's a bit different buff, so it will stack. So just keep that in mind, because I don't like Logan's attack up is way higher than Guppy's here. Interesting. Okay. Koa. Not bad stats for a 4-star. 36 speed slow. So if I am correct and that is 43 is the next breakpoint, then obviously 9 points on a Chekhov would speed him up a little bit. So that's good. 175 damage to all enemies. So an AoE hitter that covers all. 198 damage over 3 turns. That's nice. That is really nice. You get that combined with maybe another hero that has a speed weapon, like the purple poison weapon. And then you got stacking going on, or sorry, the red burn weapon. Getting my master weapons mixed up here. We need the master weapons back. Somehow, maybe not the event. The event I didn't really enjoy, but we need the master weapons back. We need more weapon variety. I don't know what their SG's doing with that. So all enemies get minus 80 attack for 3 turns. That's sweet too. So I suppose you could actually, because he's red, you could put the... Do I have one of those master weapons here? The Kubik's poison. I thought there was a red one that's burn. Maybe not, but there's other master weapons that are burn. That's a bleed one. I have some of them in my alt account too. The buffalo is bleed. Yeah, and that's it. So I think I do have a couple different ones in my alt account, but it's okay. I'm not gonna go over there. And that's venom again, so poison. But yeah, that affects stacks, right? So kind of nice to combine with that if you can. I don't think that there's a lot of new players starting that haven't even probably been able to draw from the master weapons, or only been able to maybe once before they suspended it, which is very unfortunate, because it does give you some variety and a lot more options out there for defensive and offensive weapons. So it's really kind of a shame that they've suspended it for so long. We need those master weapons back at some point. All right, woo woo. Monkey warrior. That doesn't look like a monkey. It looks like a lemur. Like what? How do you figure it's a monkey, SG? Alright, 50 average, so already past that break point. Gonna need 8 speed points. Well, that's kind of a moot point since there's only, what, one former weapon of the month that was a speed weapon in green? Because they continually seem to turn out craptacular green weapons, so... which is very unfortunate. So 235 damage to the target and nearby enemies. I don't mind that hit. I think it's pretty good. I tend to use him for a lot of wars because we're still seeing a lot of green tanks. So I put him in a green stack, and I actually like him. I really do, because I can hit with him and then hit with one of the snipers like Ox and finish a hero off pretty easy. It's a great combination for that. It's not that I use him a lot, because I don't, but I also have put him on raid tourney teams as well on defense. So summons a rubber duck minion. Again, they 8 and 8 and a minus 60 attack for 3 turns. So that's decent as well. I kind of like him as a flank for some of the raid tourneys. And like I say, I've leveled up a lot of greens because of the amount of blue tanks that we still see. So he does actually come in handy. I think he's worth it. And if I get him in my alt account, I definitely level him. So knowing what he's like and using him in my main account here, so I don't mind him. Alright. Delphine. Deep Sea Dava. I really want to know what that thing is, because that doesn't really look like her ear. What is this? That looks very weird, hanging out the side of her head there. Some kind of armor piece covering her ear? Looks weird. Alright, Rip Current. So she's 49, so only 1 speed point. And actually, she would hit, with 9 speed points, she would hit that 58, right? And become fast. Jump into the fast category, so... keep that in mind, that the Inksplosion would do awesome with her. 200% damage to all enemies. That's not a bad percentage. And increases status ailments by 2 turns. So basically she's a pretty straightforward hammering hero. Just hammers on the enemies at that 200% damage and we're good. But all the others have different, like the attack down and that sort of thing, so it's kind of weird that they wouldn't write something else into her card here too, but they didn't. That is neat about her being able to be functionally faster though. So an Inksplosion on offense, and I wonder how well she'd do in a purple stack doing raids. I don't know, seems decent, but not too overwhelming, you know what I mean? So they generally seem kind of underwhelming, especially for how much some of the specials are on the season 2 heroes, where it's like, man, you're a nerf candidate, what the heck? To see these heroes come out now, it's like, what are they doing? Alright, make some waves. Hudson is a superior soaker. Oh god. Just put super soaker. Alright, so he's at average, so he will become fast. If you have a checkoff to put on him. He will jump up a bit there. So 245 damage to the target and minor damage to nearby enemies. It's not bad. That's pretty standard for an AoE hitter that covers 3. So it's not terrible by any means. Now, I think if you combined him with somebody that had attack up like Thrasher or BB, or both in a red stack, probably do some good damage to a green war machine. There's the hero of the month though. I'll just do a little bit of a rundown on his card too as well. to combine him in a red stack too with the Hero of the Month. Kind of interesting. So the target and nearby enemies receive 282 damage over 3 turns. The target has armor, deals all damage instantly instead. Well, that's neat, because then you could follow that up, all that damage up, if the hero's still alive with the next hitter and get rid of them. So, alright, Hannah Lee. So I got her last year, which I was very happy to see her, even though I knew that she's not the greatest, and yellow is a super strong category. Because I was having trouble getting yellow heroes. When you only do so many pulls, you know, you work with what you get, and that's fine with me, because I'm not generally dropping money into the game. So she is slow, though. Now, 7 speed points would put her at that 43, so a speed weapon should help her in that regard, which is good. Now, increases the duration of buffs on all allies for 2 turns, so that's good. If you've got, say, Jocasta as your healer and that speed charge is on there, and she doesn't do defenses up, but Coyote does, but kind of keep that in mind that those buffs will be increased. What's his name? Wyatt. He does a speed charge increase as well, just like Jocasta does. So if her special goes off here, Hannah Lee, right after that, that would increase by 2 turns, which is pretty sweet considering you want your heroes to charge up faster. So now I take her in a stack with Blunderbutt. What the hell is his name? 8-Bit. Stinger, Hannah Lee, and usually somebody else for Purple War Machines, and it actually works out really well. And that's because all allies get 180 attack for 3 turns. Combine that with BB, and that can be deadly when the hits land, and BB's special doesn't make it miss. Now, you get the nearby allies with the minions, so that helps too, because I usually stick her in between Stinger and 8-Bit, and the Rubber Duck minions kind of help keep them alive a little bit longer too, right? The minion targets gets minus 60 attack for 3 turns, so perfect, because then the Purple War Machine's not hitting me as hard. So that's one function I found for her. I generally use her in a lot of wars as well, because she's, what, my 3rd yellow? Or something like that. 3rd strongest yellow, I think, behind... Is it Hush? Oh, it's Nima. Okay, so Nima, Stinger, Hannah Lee, and then Hush. So I do generally use her a lot still. So I am glad I got her. I am glad I leveled her, but I can see why people may not want to level her. She's kind of a niche hero. It's very... You don't want to use her for everything. You really don't. And there's a lot of teams in war that I wouldn't even want to use her on because her special's too weak compared to how hard hitting that defense in war is, type of thing. So I even gotta pick and choose kind of the battles that I use her for there. However, she's pretty much become a staple when it comes to the Purple War Machines because of the 180 attack, which sure is handy. So I find you combine all that with the tile damage and that sort of thing that happens, and then 8-Bit's defense down to yellow, and it can be fairly deadly. But it's unfortunate that you kind of have to look for how to use her or where to use her. So if you're interested and you have Hannah Lee, there's some of the things that I found for her. Alright, so she has fairly poor health there. Defenses are okay, but considering that health isn't the highest stat, that's too bad. Charge speed 48, so she would jump. She'd still be average, but she would jump into that 50 breakpoint with 2 speed points, which again is a moot point. I wish they would release some speed weapons in green. It would be really super awesome. 210 damage to the target and nearby enemies. That's okay. It's not the greatest. Normally I like to see that a bit higher, considering some of the AoE hitters that cover 5. All 5 will hit with that amount of damage, right? So that amount of damage is kind of blasé. So again, the duck minion with the 8 and 8, minus 60 attack for 3 turns, and the caster nearby allies get 28% critical chance for 3 turns. So it's an okay little buff on offense if you're using her in a green stack against a war machine. I just think that should be a bit more damage, like 225 maybe minimum. I don't know. She's not terrible by any means, but you know, she's competing in the same category as the Hoppers, the Emmas, and who's that other green guy? Oh, the Mortis. The Mortises. So, green heroes, they've really stepped up on, it seems, and producing some that are really decent, and now they just need to do that for the weapons. So I can see why we don't maybe see her too much. So, and did I cover him? 270? I think I did. Alright, so that's it for those guys. Let's just go over Tightwire a little bit here. So, to me, he kind of seems like a Logan. A red version of Logan. So you got that static effect of 140. Combine that with BB, and that can be certainly deadly. BB is going to make it miss sometimes, though, but it is stackable with hers, because this is a static effect and not a gambling one like hers. All enemies become unaffected by dodge bonuses for 3 turns. Woohoo! Death by dodge matches might become less if you got this guy in there. All allies deal 195% damage against random enemies. Wow, that's crazy. So I'd imagine he looks good as an offensive hero. The stats are fairly average. Not bad health. But yeah, this whole special seems totally offense related to me. I'm not sure why you would put him on defense, but you could try him as a left-hand wing, or even a left-hand flank, maybe. The 44 average, so the 9 speed points from the checkoff is going to put him at 53, so it would make him faster on offense as well. Very interesting special, this one. I bet there's probably a lot of people that are going to try and pull for this guy. So, alright folks, didn't mean to actually be so long with that video, but it just kind of went quick. Alright, and the Neopunk Talon, for anybody that has been gaming for a while and that was here the first time this got released, it looks like they might be releasing them again. That's very unfortunate, because they could have very easily made a Manor of Weapons like they did a Manor of Legends, and they could have put the old former Weapon of the Months in it, and they could have put also the Master Weapons in it, and guaranteed people would have paid to do some pulls on it. So this is kind of unfortunate to see that they're repeating them possibly here, so I guess we'll find out next month. If they are repeating them, then I believe that the next month will be the green speed weapon that was released when they started doing the weapons of the month. So, if they follow how they did it before, who knows though. But yeah, not a bad weapon by any means for offense. So I would personally probably use the speed weapon, the Inksplosion, a lot more than this one though, if I had it. Because the Inksplosion does seem to help quite a few of the purples become more faster, so. Alrighty folks, take care. Happy War Wednesday to y'all.